Sure, here's a detailed YouTube article on the Rolls-Royce evolution of 1906, exploring the birth and early legacy of one of the most prestigious automotive brands in history. Rolls-Royce Evolution 1906, the birth of an automotive legend. In the grand tapestry of automotive history, few names shine as brightly as Rolls-Royce. When we talk about luxury, innovation, and mechanical precision, this name stands as a beacon. But to truly understand what Rolls-Royce represents today, we must turn the pages back to the year 1906, a pivotal year that marked the beginning of an era. This was the year Rolls-Royce Limited was officially formed, laying the foundation for more than a century of motoring excellence. The visionaries behind the name. The story begins with two men, Charles Rolls and Henry Royce. Their backgrounds could not have been more different. Rolls was an aristocratic gentleman, educated at Eton and Cambridge, who had a passion for automobiles and aviation. Royce, on the other hand, came from humble beginnings. He was a self-taught engineer who built his first car in 1904, a two-cylinder machine that was refined, silent, and impressively reliable for its time. In 1904, the two men met through a mutual acquaintance. Rolls was immediately impressed by Royce's engineering prowess and offered to sell his cars exclusively under the Rolls-Royce name. 2 years later, in March 1906, Rolls-Royce Limited was officially founded, with one mission, to build the best car in the world. The birth of the Silver Ghost. The company's early efforts culminated in what is often considered the car that put Rolls-Royce on the map, the Silver Ghost. Though it was technically introduced in 1906, full production began in 1907. Nevertheless, the development and testing phase during 1906 established its legendary status. The Silver Ghost, also known as the 4050th HP, was revolutionary. With a 7.0-liter straight-six engine and a top speed of around 50 miles per hour, it wasn't the fastest car of its time, but it was the smoothest and most reliable. The nickname, Silver Ghost, came from a press car that was finished in silver and delivered with whisper-quiet performance, so quiet that journalists likened it to a ghost. Its most iconic claim to fame came when a Silver Ghost completed a 15,000-mile endurance run, almost unheard of in the early 20th century. The vehicle showed virtually no wear and required minimal maintenance, proving Royce's belief that engineering perfection was not just possible but repeatable. Engineering excellence from day one. The philosophy that Royce brought to Rolls-Royce can still be felt in their cars today. His attention to detail was borderline obsessive. He believed every component should be engineered to perfection, even those unseen by the customer. Royce's mantra was simple: take the best that exists and make it better. When it does not exist, design it. That thinking defined the 1906 designs. The cars were built with long-stroke engines to provide more torque, robust chassis for durability, and advanced carburation systems that allowed smoother operation than most rivals. Even the bodywork and trim materials were hand-selected for quality. In 1906, this level of craftsmanship was rare. Cars were mostly crude, loud, and unreliable. Rolls-Royce introduced a new standard, a car that didn't just move you, but did so with grace, silence, and prestige. A status symbol is born. By the end of 1906, Rolls-Royce was not yet a global household name, but among the elite and automotive insiders, it was already regarded as something special. Early clients included nobility, captains of industry, and eventually heads of state. The Silver Ghost's reputation spread far beyond British borders, especially after winning awards for reliability and performance. Rolls-Royce cars weren't just transportation, they were symbols of social standing, of success and sophistication. The brand's insistence on perfection turned their cars into rolling masterpieces, long before Ferrari or Bentley would enter the stage. Manufacturing and expansion. Initially, Rolls-Royce cars were manufactured at the Cook Street factory in Manchester. However, demand quickly outgrew the facility, and by 1908, they had moved production to a purpose-built facility in Derby. This move was indicative of the brand's early success, fueled by the reputation built from their 1906 engineering and commitment to excellence. The Derby facility allowed for greater control over the manufacturing process, with a focus on hand-built assembly and meticulous quality control. 1906 in context. What made it so important? To appreciate the importance of Rolls-Royce's 1906 evolution, we have to understand the automotive world of the time. The motor car was still a novelty. Ford's Model T had not yet arrived. Roads were largely unpaved. The idea of long-distance travel by car was still viewed with skepticism. In this environment, the success of the Silver Ghost, starting with its early 1906 design and testing, was not just impressive, it was revolutionary. The car didn't just survive difficult conditions, it conquered them. 1906 also marked the beginning of Rolls-Royce's reputation for exceptional after-sales service. Unlike many other carmakers of the time, Rolls-Royce took great care in servicing and maintaining its customers' vehicles, further cementing loyalty and admiration. Design and craftsmanship, the hallmarks of 1906. The earliest Rolls-Royce models, including those built during and just after 1906, were often sold as rolling chassis. Customers would then take their chassis to a bespoke coachbuilder to craft a body that suited their taste and purpose. This practice emphasized customization, something Rolls-Royce still embraces today in its bespoke division. Interior appointments in these early cars were typically outfitted with the finest leathers, rare woods, and custom instruments. While many of these cars were owner-driven, they could also be chauffeur-driven, reflecting their dual identity as both practical luxury cars and symbols of aristocratic opulence. Legacy and lasting impact. More than a century later, the impact of Rolls-Royce's 1906 evolution is still evident. The principles established in that year, flawless engineering, obsessive attention to detail, and uncompromising quality, remain core values of the brand. Every modern Rolls-Royce, from the Phantom to the Ghost, from the Wraith to the Cullinan, traces its lineage back to that moment in 1906 when two men decided to build the best car in the world. And perhaps that's what makes Rolls-Royce so unique. It was never about being first. It was about being the finest. And that journey started in 1906. Closing thoughts. The story of Rolls-Royce in 1906 is not just the story of a car company, it's the story of a vision. A vision that luxury and engineering could coexist, that quiet could be powerful, and that craftsmanship could last a lifetime. From humble workshops to international acclaim, 1906 wasn't just the beginning of Rolls-Royce, it was the beginning of the world's most prestigious car legacy. Stay tuned to our channel as we explore more rare automotive stories from history to the present. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for the finest content on car evolution and engineering marvels. Would you like the YouTube title and description for this article too?